Day 15 of Carnivore. Today I want to talk about carnivore and endurance athletics, or specifically carnivore and running. So I actually have written down all of my splits, all my running splits since starting carnivore. I think it's really interesting because everything that I was ever taught in the running community was like, you got carb up, you got to build up your glycogen stores, you got to have, if you're feeling low, you've got low blood sugar, and all those things are correct if you're acclimatized to a highly carbohydrate rich diet. But what they don't really emphasize, and as a matter of fact, what they demonize is like, well, you're just not going to have any energy unless you are, taking in a bunch of carbohydrates. So you can't survive as an endurance athlete on protein alone, fat alone. So this is interesting because I'm seeing that it's actually not true. There's a process called gluconeogenesis. Gluco meaning glucose, right? Sugar, blood sugar. Neo meaning new, and genesis being the creation of. So it's your body's process of creating new sugar from other energy sources like fat. Your body's always going to pull from fat before it ever pulls from muscle. So the fallacy that you're just going to lose all your gains is not something that you want to buy into. Okay, the way that energy systems work, it goes carbohydrates first, then fat, then protein, and that's like you got to be Tom Hanks on an island talking to the volleyball named Wilson, like castaway, starving, for your body to start eating up your muscle, right? Um, so I just want to talk about the performance aspects, and I'm just going to go back to May 14th. I understand also that we're going from spring into summer, so we're seeing a lot of increases in temperature. So, if you're seeing fluctuations in the performance as the carnivore diet goes on, it's not because I'm always slower. Sometimes I am, right? Sometimes I don't have a good running day, but sometimes it's because the environment was just better, right? As we have more cloud cover, everything. So anyway, we're going to go to May 14th. Distance was 3:07. Time was 21:58. My pace was 7:09 minute mile. My ascent. So there's like no hills here, right? Ascent was 36 feet. Descent was 42 feet. My splits were 7:16, 7 minutes, and 7:08. So 3 miles, averaging a 7:09 minute mile, which is, that's pretty good, right? May 16th, distance 3.79. Distance was 29, or pardon me, time was 29:73. Pace 7:51 minute mile. Ascent 2:16. Descent 2:16. So paces were 7:44, 7:46, 7:53, and that last almost mile was 6:18, right? Going through, May 21st, 3.87 miles. Time 31.11. Pace 8 minute mile. Ascent 187 feet. Descent was 200 feet. Paces 8:20, 7:42, 8:27, and that last 8.87 miles was 6:41. May 23rd. So I'm moving from the most past run to the most recent, right? May 23rd, 3.41 miles. Time 25, 39, 7:30 minute mile pace. Ascent 157, descent 160. Split 7:33, 7:25, 7:35, and then the last 0.4 was 3:03. And my last three runs here, May 30th, distance 3.48, time was 26 minutes flat, pace was 7.28 minute mile, ascent was 154, descent 183, splits 7:44, 7:13, 7:35, and the last 0.48 miles was 3.327. June 1st, 4 miles. Now this was a boots and utes run. Okay, so I was wearing my old Marine Corps utility pants and boots, and I'll tell you, the weight of those boots killed me. So you'll see it here. The distance was 4 miles. Time 35.53. Pace 8:55 minute mile. Ascent 357. Descent 344. So I'm dealing with a lot more hills there as well. And then the pace, the splits 8:40, 8:13, 9:46, and 9:02. Now today, my run, June 4th, distance 4.53 miles. So one of my longest runs, time was 35.06. My pace was 7:44 minute mile. Ascent was 177 feet. Descent, because I actually didn't do an out and back on that. So the descent was actually bigger than the ascent. So the descent was 278. So, and most of the beginning was the descent, right? So my split was 706, 716, 735, and 801. Cool. So with all that being said, the thing that I mean, 2 weeks is not a long enough period of time, especially when we're having such changing weather, and I'm specifically choosing to run out in the sun. I think that the more adversity that you face when you exercise, the more that your body is going to adapt. But what I will say is that previously, when starting my running program, I was having a really hard time having plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis and patellar tendonitis. So that's bottom of my feet, the back of my heel, and just below my kneecaps, mostly on my right side. I don't feel that anymore. So I'm feeling good. And obviously you want to be proactive, and you want to foam roll, and you want to do your recovery stuff. And I was doing that before. So it's not like that is really like a change. So there it is. I would say that I haven't really seen much of a difference. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and hit an early morning run to replicate that very first, I think it was May 13th run, right as I was getting into May 14th run. So I'm going to do that exact same route next week, and we're going to see how I do. And I think that's really going to give us more of an apples to apples idea of what kind of either increase or decrease I'm seeing in my performance. So we'll see that next week, guys. I look forward to sharing that information with you. Tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be sex and the carnivore diet, libido and the carnivore diet. All the things that nobody wants to talk about is on tomorrow's episode. So there it is. We'll see you guys then. Don't forget to like and subscribe.